have the empathy that goes along with being direct. And so if I'm telling an employee that I expect better, I can't just tell them, you know, you should be doing a good job. I know you can be doing a good job. I've seen you do it before, right? So like it's the empathy. When I have to tell commissioners that this is a really bad idea, even though it's something that they would like to do, I understand why you want to make this decision. It is my professional opinion that this is not the right decision, but I understand why you want to make it. So as long as you tack on that empathy with being direct, I think it helps balance it out, because you could be direct without empathy and it'd be catastrophic. It would be downright cruel, really. Anybody else? Yes.
You mentioned with reference to how holding one job and then the other one being open and other people started calling you about it, and even just me reaching out to you, I had a few people that would say, Nicole Travis, she would be a great speaker, and stepping outside of your comfort zone. So what, is there like a correlation, or what do you find in maybe listening to other people, because they clearly saw something in you and you were saying, no, I don't know if I want to do this. So at what point do you kind of start to think about others' opinions of you and what you can do? Maybe they're seeing something that you don't see in yourself.
Absolutely. So I think the one thing to exceptional leaders is also being self-aware, right? And being able to self-reflect and figure out, what can I do better? What should I be doing more of? What should I be doing less of? And so my husband was pushing me to apply for that job, and I was like, Sean, you just do not understand the headaches and the sleepless nights that's going to come along with this job. And he's like my biggest cheerleader, right? And then I get all these other phone calls, and I'm just thinking, so the question I had to ask myself is, why not? Like, why aren't you doing it? Is it fear? You know, and you hate to admit that like you're holding yourself back because you were scared. And I was scared. I'm like, we have 4 new commissioners running on a platform to reform this department that they want to put me the head of. What? No. Then they're going to find out that I'm not really as good as I thought I was, right? And so, so I think that you have to be self-aware, self-reflect, and if there's a constant theme or a constant thread that keeps showing up, pay attention to it, right? And so I get asked to speak often, and Javon can tell you that when I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's asking me to speak again. And he was like, you're fine. What date do you like? What date do you know, and keep you on task. And it doesn't become comfortable, but you have to, if you are committed to being an exceptional leader, if you're committed to your success and to your growth, you have to stretch. You just have to. Otherwise, you're going to be under that weighted blanket, and you're going to be in the same position until you're 65 and a half and ready to collect Social Security. I think that's the age. It might be 67. I don't know. Is it 67? So,
67 and a half.
Is it 67 and a half?
67 and a half.
That's ridiculous. So unless you plan, the job that you have now is the one that you plan to end your career on until when you're 67 and a half, then don't listen to anything that I'm saying. But if you are trying to position yourself for success and to be an exceptional leader in any position that you have to be uncomfortable. You have to stretch. You have to say yes. You have to take risks. And that's what I'm doing. Stretching.
Thank you.
This is me stretching. Anybody else? Come on. You're in right there. You did like one of these. I saw that. You're like,
I really appreciate everything that you've gone over, and I do struggle with, communication and having that kind of self-confidence. So everything you've gone over kind of just has been clicking. So.
Right. So the confidence comes when you keep doing more of it. Right. The confidence comes when the first time that you stick up for yourself or you be assertive, man, that does something inside for you. And so it's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. But every time that you find an opportunity to stretch and to grow and to communicate something that you would have otherwise not wanted to communicate, it does something about that confidence within. So you just got to dig in, baby, and do it. All right? Yes, sir.
So how would you approach a situation in which you feel yourself as a good leader, but you're not being led by a good leader?
See, they don't have anything to do with you.
No, nothing to do with it.
Right? So the question was, how do you respond really
How do you respond?
to you're not being led by a good leader, but you see yourself as a good leader, right? So number one, check the ego. You gotta check your ego, right? That I know I could be doing this job better than he can. I know I could do it faster, I'm smarter. Check the ego. Focus on the job that you have and that you've been entrusted, and do it better than anybody else. Just focus on what you gotta do. The leadership and success is gonna come after that. Whether he's a good leader, whether your supervisor is a good leader or not, it has nothing to do with you and it's none of your business. Don't think about it. Make sure you check your ego. Make sure you don't keep telling yourself, I know I'm better than him. Don't do that. Because then your ego gets involved, and then you're not focused and you're not on task and you're not growing, right? So check your ego. Recognize that what he's doing or not doing is none of your business, and what you've been entrusted to do, dig in and do it better than anybody else. You will be recognized for the leadership. It may not come when you want it. It may not come in the timing that you may think that you deserve it, but somebody's watching you, and the opportunity will come. I assure you. Me being asked to be director, I did not want the job. The job that I have now is not, I did not want this job. I did not want this job. But I was doing the job that I was entrusted to do, and I was doing a good job at it. And I was doing it well, and I was being fair. And so somebody saw that in me. And so just a quick story, I told you my mom was on the governor's cabinet for a very long time. And when she first went on the governor's cabinet, she was a supervisor somewhere at the housing authority. And she got a call a night that was before caller ID. But it was for somebody that was involved in politics that was known as the godfather of politics, and he's the person that's the strategist behind the scenes. She was like, I didn't know how he got my phone number. The man asked me, would I be interested? She said, I think you have the wrong number. He said, no, I don't, and somebody will call you tomorrow. And somebody was watching. So what that person is or isn't doing as a leader has nothing to do with you. You gotta stay focused, stay on task, grit. Don't give up, don't quit. Somebody else have a question? Yes, sir.
So when you were CRA manager, you had a team of 7, and now as director, your team is 71, 72. Were there any leadership qualities that you feel you needed to gain to better lead a larger team?
Yeah, that's a good question. So from leading a team of 7 to then going to 72, I was managing people and projects. Now I'm managing strategy and a whole department. And the one thing that I had to learn, and I had to learn it quickly, is not to care what people thought. I generally really don't care what people think, but at work, in my profession and in the work that I do, I want people to think that I'm doing a good job. I want them to trust me with the responsibility that they've given me. And I was leading people that were resistant to me being in the position. Other people had applied for the position, and they were now my subordinates, right? And I was constantly thinking about, how can I get them on board? How can I get them to buy in? And that was keeping me back from moving the entire department forward. And so I had to learn how to, when I have the vision and we figured it out and collectively as a team and got their input, and I decided that this is the direction that we're moving, not to care whether they bought into the idea. There comes a point where you just can't stop yourself from caring about it anymore and just move the department forward. And there came a point, that was a hard lesson for me in the first 7 months of the position is, okay, you've asked for their input, who cares? You're the boss, tell them what to do, and they'll move on. And so I think that was the hardest growth period for me, is just not managing people and projects, but managing the entire department and moving forward even when I didn't have some, not the majority, 1 or 2 people that bought into the idea. One more. Anybody else? It was fun talking to you this morning. I hope you guys took something away from it and have a good rest of the semester.
We have something for you.
Absolutely. was my absolute pleasure.
And she said, oh.
Wasn't she awesome? Let's give her a good round.